Before I learned the story of Hiram Abiff and what it represents, or even knew that it existed, I decoded the big book of life and death. Yes, this is the actual book of life as described in Revelations 20:15. And if anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. This is in Revelations 20:15. And 2015 is code for 2, which equals 11, or the two witnesses. And 15 is the code for Venus, Inanna, and the yin and yang codes for 6 and 9, which equals 15, which is their union in Revelations 11. She is the woman of Revelations 12 that births the man-child and has the moon at her feet because she shuts down the moon machine as depicted in Revelation 6:12. The big book is master key to unlock the judgment that leads to eternal life or eternal death by way of the great solar flash in 2028. The numbers inside this book govern the grid of light on earth or the 196 Olympian spirits. If you want more on this information of how the grid is constructed, please watch my series, The Bible Decoded, pinned to the top of this page. What this means is that every numerological source code alteration, which is what sorcery is, will be judged against the light of the sun. Low vibrational frequencies will be eliminated if they are not mayat, balanced through the heart chakra of love, through confession and forgiveness, the narrow path where Ma is at, the green energy. Let's break down the Hiram Abiff cipher. In Freemasonry, Hiram is revered as the master architect of Solomon's temple. Solomon meaning soul of man. According to the legend, he was unalived by 3 ruffians who tried to extract the secret passcodes of a master mason. The words Hiram Abiff break down to Ham, I-R, A-B, and If, I-F-F. Ham is the father of Canaan, whom is the exiled and cursed son. Only this is really the daughter. As Canaan equals Kainana, like banana, she is the banana in the tailpipe. C equals the 3rd letter for the throne of Isis, and B equals the twins, and together this is 131. Inanna, which is 131 in Hebrew gematria, and also code for the eagle has landed, which is 131 in simple gematria. The 3, which is the throne of Isis, is the eagle turned sideways that lands on the masculine phallus. She brings the 1 down with her, as she is a representation of the 13 Christic bloodline. Genesis 9:25 says, "Cursed be Canaan," matched my birthday that I use as the cipher to decode the big book, which is 9-7. The I equals 9 as the 9th letter, and the R is the 18th letter, which also reduces to 9, and this gives us 99, which is our 99 problems. And 99 is a mirror of 333, 333, and in the big book I decoded these as resurrection codes after the judgment of all carbon-based beings. The resurrection will restore all photon light beings to the light, as we are leaving the matter-based experience behind and stepping into Atlantis, the kingdom of light. Therefore, IR means I resurrect. Then we look at if, IFF. In logic and mathematics, if means if and only if 2 figures are congruent, if one can be placed over the other so that they coincide. This means 2 shapes that can be mirrored. This is talking about the 2 witnesses and the act of sexual intercourse to give birth. The normal formula for this congruence is 22 divided by 7, which equals 3.14 or pi. But for the 2 witnesses who are Christ, meaning they have gained Christ consciousness and have gone through the process of death, which equals fasting, which is death to the flesh, and resurrection, which is death to the ego, they add 2 onto their numbers, making them congruent triangles of 3 and 3, which is the master mason number. 33 is also their butterfly connection, as they are twin photon light beings. One soul or photon light being polarity split into 2 bodies as the masculine and feminine. This is the 3 code for the resurrection of Christ as depicted in the Bible. Alone, the 22, which is 4, is just a woman. Once she goes through the Christ journey, she becomes 6, the divine feminine or yin, adding 2 for death and resurrection. Alone, he is just a 7. But once he goes through the Christ journey, he adds 2 and becomes the 9, which is yang, the divine masculine. Together, they create a new formula, which is the big book formula of 33 divided by 9. Then there's AB. AB is a representation of Sirius, the dog star, the origin point of the Sumerians, which simply means people of Summerland, which is melanin coded. They are the descendants of the first two beings or light-coded gods that birthed or spawned all light beings on planet Earth. Now, to further widen the lens, the word Anunnaki is a cipher as well. It's an anagram for Inanna, AU, and K. Inanna is the goddess Venus Ishtar, or the Earth Mother goddess. AU is the atomic number 79 for gold, and her birthday unlocks the big book, which is my birthday sequence of 979. The 7 in the center means the seventh angel who possessed the little book in Revelations 10:10. Only this is not the little book. This is the big book. And K is the 11th letter. That's the twin pillars, truth and justice, Joe, Shem, and Boaz, the two witnesses again. So Anunnaki encodes the solar goddess, the golden frequency, and the gate of judgment. But here's the twist. All of the ancient codes, whether they be Egyptian, Sumerian, even biblical, have been translated into spell language. This is why I teach the Bible as a grimoire and not a holy book. The translation is a coded script of numerology sorcery. None of it is pure, none of it is correct, and it all needed to be deciphered, which is what I am doing here. This language is what you call the Tower of Babel that confounds. And Babel itself is a cipher as well. Babel equals B and Abel. B is the second letter, which is truth and justice, the two pillars. AB again equals Sirius. L is E and L, which E is the fifth letter and L is the 12th letter. 5 plus 3 equals 8. And 8 is the time loop or the trap of time. 8 is the infinite cycle card from the Sirius star system using numerology. Canis Major, the greater dog, which is Abel. And Cain is Major's pain, which is the OJ Ram. Who is Major Pain? The Wayans, which inverted is the Mayans if you flip the W to an M, which is the Mayan calendar. The proposed date of its end was supposed to be 2012, but because of the change of times and laws as referenced in Daniel 7:25, 9 years were added, which would make the true end 2021. Daniel 7:25 states, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change the times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand a time, and dividing of times. A time equals 1 year, times equals 2 years, and dividing of times equals a half year. So the total is 3.5 years. This 3.5 year period shows up repeatedly in apocalyptic prophecy, especially in Daniel and Revelations, which is linked to 1,260 days in Revelations 11:3 and 12:6, 42 months in Revelations 11:2 and 13:5, and time, and half a time in Revelations 12:14. This is supposed to mark the 3.5 year tribulation as well as the ministry of the two witnesses. Therefore, Cain is the one who overwrites the ram's memory, or does it just because I can. O is the 15th letter for Venus, the earth goddess, and J is the 20th letter again for the twins. OJ Ram is also Joram, and Joram is the Lion King of Judah. The Tower of Babel isn't just a building, it's a spell. A structure made of fractured language using gematria, numerology, and words as weapons. Spells that shift photon light energy. And that brings us to now. On October 23rd, 2025, 47 demolishes the east wing of the White House. Eastward is the same direction the people moved from Genesis 11:1-9 when they built the Tower of Babel. $250 million is also 7, which represents the scythe that separates the wheat from the tares, or judgment. Saying that 150 years of history erased is actually the number 6 for Venus and the Yin Yang twins code again. And the date it was announced was 10/23/2025. If you add that up, it equals out to 15. 1, 2, 3 represents ascension up the throne of Isis into death as we leave the third dimension of matter-based bodies and head towards the fifth dimension of light. The reverse would have been 3, 2, 1 down the stairs into rebirth. The tower card of the tarot is number 16, which is also 7. Therefore, this is also indicative of the tower moment during this Pluto return of the US. Verses 1-9 is the formula for the gravitational singularity black sun event, as I have decoded previously. I hope you enjoyed this message. Please like, share, and subscribe, and put a comment down in the comments just to let me know what you think of this content overall. Keep shining bright. Peace, love, and light.